Another one for Hefeltbad as well as anybody else out on the channel. This one will be field dressing a deer. Or you can apply the same principles to other smaller sources of protein. Because that's what it all comes down to. Yes, I've eaten bugs before. Some of them are a strange texture due to the chitinous type outer housing or shell they have on their body. It's almost like armor plate or something. Chewing celery and you can't ever get the fibers to break. When you've bagged your deer or the smaller animal, you hang it up upside down, slit its throat, bleed it out, come back later on after everything's said and done, and on the hind feet, just below the forelock, uh, you make a circular incision all the way around the leg, on each leg, and then you make a straight cut all the way down to the abdomen. And you come, it's going to be a Y. So you come together right there at the crotch area. Then you make a straight cut down all the way to the base of the skull. And once you've done that, you can peel the hide off the animal. It'll just come off like a suit, because underneath the surface skin and fur, there is also another sac. Excuse me. And that actually can be helpful to you as you're skinning. Then after you've gotten the skin off, of course, you've got to clean out the abdomen. The tongue is good, don't throw it away. Heart's good, don't throw it away. Kidney, liver, those are good, don't throw it away. Fat, animal fat is actually going to be good for you too. You'll need that for energy. Turns into carbohydrates. Because once we start living out in the bush, the toolies, as I like to say, toolies, we're not going to have access to sources of food such as we have now. But that's good, because then we won't be poisoning ourselves either. Get away from all the stuff that's suppressing us in our minds and our spirituality. I don't like the idea of having to eat another animal to survive, because we're animals too, to a degree, depending on where you are spiritually. Spiritually, I'd like to say, yes, I am above an animal, but an animal is true to its nature. How many humans are true to their natures? That's the big question, and that is the differentiation between the two. When I go out on a hunt and I make a kill, I give thanks to the animal itself. I honor my ancestors' traditions, and I thank my brother for the subsistence it is going to provide me so that I might live, and I honor it. I don't care how small a life form is or anything else. Now here's something for emergency situations. Well, no, I ain't even going there first about wound care. Fires. You've always got to dig a pit, and you always have to have dry wood. Now when you build your fire pit, this is the crucial part. Only use what you need to do the job. Do not have a big massive fire. Dry wood, why? Less smoke. Now if you're not living in a cave where you can divert the smoke flumes and disperse it through, say, water, you need to be around a thick foliage tree, preferably an evergreen which is green all year round, because the branches themselves will disperse what little smoke there is, as well as the heat waves. Remember, if they think a lot of us have gone to the bushes, then they're going to be looking for us with F.L.I.Rs, forward-looking infrared devices. Those are the pods that are on the front of most military equipment that's airborne. And that's why I say, if you can't afford the ceramic tiles, which are clear, which cut off 100% of your thermal signature, get what is an authentic space blanket, as it cuts down 83 point something percent of your heat signature. So you might be mistaken for a small animal, but that's no guarantee either, because we've seen in videos of active military personnel right now slaughtering stock. We also did that in Nam, so it's just a part of the horrors of war. Covering yourself with mud does not work. You're not Arnold Schwarzenegger, and you don't have some alien after you. Mud don't get it. They can even if you're underground, if you're not deep enough, they'll pick up your heat signature. That's how they were able to find the Iraqi tanks in the First World War. First World War. During the first Iraqi war that Bush Sr. did, because the sun beat down on the sand, and the sand transferred the heat to the tanks. And later on at night, the tanks, even though they're buried, are still glowing just like light bulbs turned on. You need to be looking at this technology. I've got a lot of videos I would love to post here. I subscribe, and I'm a member because of my previous service. I qualify. Military.com. They've got a lot of video content, and I'd love to post them on here, but I might get hit with copyright. It's about all kinds of weapons that I wish I could let you people know about. They are really perfecting the means to cause havoc and death and destruction, far more than anything that's been posted here on YouTube. It's a pucker factor. Now, wound care. You can get your natural fiber from plant life that's around you. I myself would prefer something like an alder tree. Here in Maine, my ancestors and those that are still alive to this day, they cut it down and they'll tap it with a hammer, and that causes the fibers to separate, and they use that to make baskets out of. But you can also make it fine enough to make sutures out of. You got to grin and bear it. If you have an infection, you better hope you have flies around. Maggots will be your best friend, because maggots will eat the infection out and leave the healthy tissue alone. Don't let your head freak you out over it. They're doing you a favor. I'm almost at 9 minutes. Yeah, I am at 9 minutes again. I'm going to have to do another one where I'm going to describe how to use available water for power.